Bill 36 should be called the Health Tyranny Act. It's interesting, when the pandemic broke and I saw what was happening to my patients, and I wrote to Bonnie Henry. The college had two responses. I mentioned one was to deny that what I was saying was true and to accuse me of spreading misinformation. The second response would happen almost exactly to the day, 1 month after my letter. My letter was first week of April 2021. On the 5th of May, they sent out a letter to every single registered doctor in Canada warning the doctors, and the same went right across. So that was BC, college did it for BC, but all the other provinces did the same. They sent a letter to every doctor saying, if you spread misinformation about COVID or the COVID vaccines, you will be put under investigation and, if necessary, disciplined. They called my letter to Bonnie Henry misinformation, telling her what I saw in my own patients. That was their response, was to send a gag order to every doctor in the province: shut your mouth. It's safe and effective. Here we are, 5 years later, and Bill 36 is exactly that. Bill 36 is, before this pandemic, I used to go to these medical conferences. They also often would have speakers talking about pandemic preparedness. Bill 36 is pandemic preparedness for the next pandemic. It's a gag order for the entire medical profession, for doctors, nurses, chiropractors, physiotherapists, psychologists, every allied medical person. Because Bill 36 says, if you speak misinformation, and of course, what's misinformation? It's anything they don't agree with. Literally anything they don't agree with is misinformation. $200,000 fine plus 6 months in jail for disagreeing with public health. So this is a gag, or this is getting ready for the next pandemic. Not only that, you can have your medical license instantly suspended on the basis of a single anonymous complaint with no investigation. So, the healthcare system is collapsing, in case any of you hadn't noticed. It is collapsing. The pandemic pushed tens of thousands of health professionals across Canada. I think the number I saw was 90,000 people left healthcare in the pandemic. Now, some people left because they were scared of the virus, and some people left because they were scared of the vaccine, and some people were just so disgusted at how the medical profession betrayed the people of Canada and would not stand on moral integrity. And so many people just went into retirement or went to a different job. And here in BC, they fired 3,000 people out of the hospitals who wouldn't have the COVID shots. And it doesn't take a lot of intelligence to know that firing healthcare workers in a pandemic is beyond stupid. Now, fortunately, as I mentioned, there wasn't actually a pandemic because there was no change in the number of people that died. So there wasn't actually a pandemic, but they got rid of all these healthcare workers. Now with Bill 36, there are so many doctors that are just quietly going into retirement or leaving the province. So many. I work in interior health. Kamloops is the main referral center that I send my patients to. In November, every single one of the gynecologists and obstetricians resigned. And why did they resign? 7 resigned. All the obstetricians in the entire hospital resigned. Why did they resign? Because all of the family doctors that did the low-risk obstetrics had quit. So once the family doctors quit, now the specialists can't handle all the low-risk and the high-risk stuff. They quit. It's a bit like the cod fishery back east that collapsed, what was it, 20, 30 years ago. There's a threshold volume of people that you need in the healthcare industry. Once you drop below that threshold, there's a domino effect and it all just collapses. That is what Bill 36 is doing here. The pandemic started it, and Bill 36 is completing the job. So time and truth go hand in hand. As most doctors don't even know about Bill 36. But as they discover this sword of Damocles that hangs over them, they think, oh boy, I think it's time to retire. And most of them are just quietly disappearing. So as this all collapses, we will be there to pick up the pieces. And we will build a better system. Canada is one of the very few countries in the world where we don't have two parallel systems, private and public, where we have a government monopoly on healthcare, and the monopoly is collapsing. Because tyranny never works for long. It collapses. People that live under a tyranny rebel against it. That's why every country that has tyrannical government is a poor country. It doesn't motivate people. People need to be free to work hard and to be productive. So what do we do about Bill 36? I don't know. The Conservatives said that they were going to scrap it, but the morons in this province voted for their communists again. So I don't know what we do. I don't know what we do. I think we just have to hope that eventually enough healthcare workers will actually stand up, because the problem, as Edmund Burke once said, all that is needed for evil to triumph is for good people to do nothing. And that's the problem, is too many people do nothing. So thank you for being here this evening.